I need to talk about this latest season of Baki because I have no idea what I just watched. This is the most ridiculous thing that anyone could have come up with. Starting from the fact that, first of all, the whole premise of this season begins with the main character traveling to China to fight the strongest people in the world, supposedly, but he's poisoned and he's dying, like he's on his deathbed. Anyway, that's just anime logic. I accepted it. I was like, let's go in with that. Cool. Now we get there and you expect that maybe they find a doctor with an antidote. No, he just goes into the fight straight away while he's still poisoned, and this happens. Of course he's dying, and then a girl just starts crying, and next thing you know, oh, he's healed, he wins the fight, and by the time you see him in his next fight, minutes later, the guy looks completely normal. Before he was like skin and bones because of the poison, and now he's just gone back to complete normal. So that's just weird. Like, that doesn't even make physical sense. But apart from that, funniest thing to me in this season was Yujiro's fight with this old man. Yujiro is supposedly the strongest person, the strongest creature in the entire world. He's fighting this 146-year-old man who is one of the greatest martial arts people of all time. Like, he's 146 years old, he's been training for over 100 years. Of all time. Now, martial arts doesn't matter because the guy is just too strong. Like, Yujiro is just too strong. The whole fight, Yujiro is punching this guy, bashing his face in. The guy is 146 years old. Do you understand how old that is? This guy probably owned slaves, bro. This guy is 146 years old. The guy was being punched, like, left, right, and center, being smacked against the wall. Everything was bleeding. Repeatedly. When my man's about to hit the finishing blow, he stops. Everyone's like, why did he stop? This is the funniest part because it's so stupid. The doctor comes up to him, he checks his eyes, he checks his pulse, his heartbeat, and he says the guy died of old age. Of old age, can you imagine? So you're telling me you see a guy bleeding from punches with being hit for the last how many minutes, and you check his heartbeat and you check his eyes and you determine, oh, it's old age. Like, even if he hadn't been like, how does a person's heartbeat and eyes tell you that they died of old age? Like, it could literally be anything. Like, let alone the fact that the guy's bleeding from being hit. Bro, the whole thing was so stupid. Where did they even find this doctor from that is giving such a synopsis on that? And to add insult to injury, literally to add insult to injury, 5 minutes later, the guy's alive again. It's like, what? And he's basically telling everyone, oh yeah, I faked my death. That's what animals do in the wild. Bro, you're 146 years old. If you die, there's no coming back. Like, especially if you die of supposed old age, there's no coming back. Who is this doctor that's giving these kind of diagnoses? Like, that is just stupid. Anyway, that was the funniest part to me when he said he's died of old age. But apart from that, another stupidity was this guy called Dorian. Now, he was in the last season and he was a big enemy and like he was like beating people up, killing people. What happened to him was that he had to fight a really strong guy. He ended up being hit so hard it gave him brain damage, and he became mentally ill basically because he was hit that hard. Now, when I saw that he was actually coming to this tournament in China, I'm thinking, okay, interesting. Surely if they're even going to keep him in the story, he's going to do something significant. Then I thought, okay, that means maybe being mentally ill has unlocked some kind of, for example, how they have the drunken fist when they're drunk. I was thinking maybe they're going to do something like that. And like when he's mentally ill, he'll do some moves or something like that. Bro, none of that. The guy just went over to China while being mentally ill to get beaten up some more. It made no sense. So that was also stupid. Anyway, that was like the tournament arc, which was the first half of this season 3. Now, the second half of the season was based on Mohammed Ali's son. It's based on Mohammed Ali Jr. And basically it starts off with Mohammed Ali Jr. It's basically showing that he's perfected Muhammad Ali's fighting style, which is famous for float like a butterfly, being really fast and all that. So it's basically saying like he's faster than Muhammad Ali, he's stronger, he's just a sick guy in general. And so it basically shows him he beats one guy in a fight, pretty cool, pretty quick. And a second guy comes along, and the second guy is like known to be really strong. Muhammad Ali Jr. beats him. So this is just giving you the idea that Muhammad Ali Jr. is like not a joke, like he knows what he's doing. Third guy, now this was actually probably debatably the best fight in the season. Muhammad Ali Jr. doesn't win this one, but he gives some back and forth. He shows obviously like you've seen him win, so you know he's not a chump. And then he goes against this guy who's clearly stronger than him. I think he's on steroids. I think like officially he's on steroids. Obviously like Muhammad Ali Jr. can't win, but he gets back up. He just gets punched down. He puts up a fight. He just like, but it doesn't phase the guy because he's like way stronger. But he keeps getting up and he shows what he can do with his speed and all that. And he loses the fight and he gets badly injured. He breaks his tongue and all that. So basically he got 2 wins at the start of the season, and then on the 3rd match he lost quite badly, to the point he was very injured. Now the first guy he fought comes back to find him while he's injured, and he's like, you have to fight me. I don't know why he accepted the fight, but they fought and he just injured him some more. But he beat you when he was healthy, and now you just want to beat him when he's injured. So the fight doesn't really mean much, and you've now just gone and injured an injured person. So okay, that was just weird to me. And then so you see him again and he's like even more injured than he was. Like he's like really in a bad state. And the second guy he fought comes back for a rematch. And when Mohammed Ali Jr. says, you know I'm injured, right? Like you want to fight me when I'm injured. The second guy says, oh, are you saying that I'm cowardly if I want to fight an injured person? It's like peer pressure or whatever. And he's like, oh no, I'll fight. And bro, this guy ends up beating him. And again, it's like, if he beat you when he was healthy, then beating him when he's injured doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean you win properly. That's stupid. Anyway, he beats him, he injures him some more, and now the guy is literally on crutches. So think about it now. He's lost 3 times in a row. He's on crutches. He's injured more than ever. And like, he probably needs some rest, right? He doesn't get rest because Muhammad Ali himself, his dad, wants to fight him when he's on crutches. This is when I knew the show was just stupid. Muhammad Ali beats up his own son who is on crutches. Does that even sound like it makes sense? A 60-year-old Muhammad Ali beats up his own son who is injured on crutches. I thought that was stupid, but whatever. That makes 4 losses in a row. Now, the climax of the season is that Muhammad Ali Jr. is gonna fight Baki. And already you know this guy is not gonna beat the guy who the show is named after. Especially after he's just lost 4 times in a row. He's in a fairly injured state, like he hasn't recovered entirely, and he's now going up against the main character. Cool. In theory, at least they should make it an interesting match, because this is kind of like the main character against the person they've kind of made the main character for this season. Nope, this guy gets beaten quickly. This guy gets beaten quick, and then he just tossed to the side. The guy's there crying, and they basically used him as like a half a season plot device to basically say, oh no, yeah, we made you like this guy so you can see how much stronger Baki is than him. And the whole thing is just like, this just is a waste of time. You could, first of all, how did the main character even get this much stronger? The guy was dying of poison like 10 seconds ago, and now he's beating up Muhammad Ali's son, who is like the best boxer in the world. And now all of a sudden, the guy who was poisoned and dying 10 seconds ago is the strongest person to ever live apart from the other guy. Anyway, the whole season didn't make sense. There were so many things that were unnecessary. There were so many things that didn't make sense, like the 146-year-old man like dying of old age and then saying, no, I killed myself and then I brought myself back to life. And the guy who became mentally ill after he was hit so hard coming back. There's no reason that none of these make sense. Yet somehow it's still an enjoyable watch. Just because of how ridiculous, it's like a train wreck, you know, you just can't stop watching it. Somehow it's still an enjoyable watch, but it's just stupid. After I finished watching it, I just sat there like, no way did I just watch the 12, 13 episodes of all of this happening. And I loved every second of it. Well, I loved every second until Muhammad Ali Jr. got beaten at the end. Because then I was just like, I thought maybe I'm reaching a little bit. But this is borderline racist. Like this is borderline disrespectful. Because in which universe is a Muhammad Ali Jr. who has perfected fighting and boxing gonna lose in like 3 hits without getting 1 hit on his enemy? Like it just doesn't make sense. You build him up for that long and then that all happens. Is crazy. Anyway, yeah, long story short, very poorly written plot wise, very weird usage of characters like the mentally ill guy. Overall, just I don't understand it. It can't be taken seriously. Overall, it can't be taken seriously. It's just crazy. But with that being said, still do recommend the watch, and I still will watch season 4. It's inexplainable how addictive it is. Like you can't stop watching it. It's actually amazing in its own way, as ridiculous as it is. So basically my review is, season was low-key trash, low-key disrespectful, had some good moments. It's funny if you don't take it seriously, but overall the writing is pretty poor. but go give it a watch.